Yes, I am Tariq Khan. I am a neurosurgeon by profession, and I'm a CEO of Alliance Healthcare Limited from Pakistan. And we are now the fastest growing company in Pakistan by the old World Net, declared last night in Arabia 500. And we are into healthcare.
Fantastic.
We formed this company about a few years back. Basic idea was to make a good hospital for us to work in and to give good service to people. We never thought that we were going into some sort of entrepreneurship or some business. It was meant for us. But we did very well because whatever we got, we put it back into new equipment. We're the only hospital in the province of Pakhtunkhwa in Pakistan having radiotherapy services, one of the best in the country, and in all fields of medicine. And now we're starting. We just 2 days back approved the designs for another 300-bed hospital. This one is 250-bed. Another 300-bed hospital with a medical school, a dental school, and a nursing college. So we are hoping to continue, and it's nearby us in Peshawar, which is supposed to be a bad region to be in nowadays, but for us, it's our home, so we're doing well.
Okay. But you've obviously taken a risk, Tariq. I mean, as a neurosurgeon, you could have had a very comfortable life, having a very easy income, and you've decided to take a risk and make investments and take risk. What motivates you to take that risk?
Yes, I was doing very well. We all, the partners, were doing very well, earning good money, but we felt we needed a good service for everybody, a good place, a neat and clean place with all the facilities under one roof. So that was the basic concept behind it. We never even thought that we may lose money. We didn't think of that at all. And by the grace of Allah, we did very well. Yes, in 2009, late when we started, things were very bad. And we were having problems, but we overcame them without any problems. It was good.
So you obviously face problems. I mean, there are mistakes, there are issues. How have you dealt with that? Have you learned from that? There's certain things that you could tell other people, look, you're going to have problems. How do you deal with it?
I think our problems were mainly something which were not in our control. It was the issue of terrorism, which is still there, but it was something which we couldn't do anything about. We just kept on going and kept on continuing. And other than that, we didn't face any problems. We put a lot of money into equipment which we felt was needed for patients. We didn't even look at whether it was going to bring in income, but we felt it was equipment which was required, and that is paying off very well as well. So I think the most important thing is to be straightforward.
So you obviously started with a strategy, with an idea. Has the strategy changed, or is it the plan, the day-to-day things that have changed as you've gone along? But the strategy is the same. How do you deal with strategy?
Since I'm a practicing neurosurgeon, and our aim was to develop further into a medical school and dental college, etc. Now we feel that in the next couple of years we need to be looking for a corporate CEO, a person whose job it is actually. It's not my job really in that sense, but to offset that, we got services of good chartered accountants to work for us, to do the financial side, and we got people to run the day-to-day work for the hospital, and us to be thinking of how to expand further in that way.
Okay. And obviously, you've got certain skills, you're highly skilled in one area, but did you suddenly realize that, hey, we've started a business and we now have to think about making payroll and cash flow and hiring people and managing people and what is our organizational culture? Did you get some surprises there, and Tariq had to go back to school and learn about how to do this?
I learned on the job, learning on the job, but what I did was I said suddenly I thought we need a system audit of our whatever is happening. So I said, how do we do that? So I said, okay, we go for ISO 9001. And we started working on that, and we got certified by ISO 9001 2008 a month ago. So we know now we have the SOPs in place, and we know that we have the documentation, and we know that if A person is not there, B can take over because the SOPs are there, documentation is there. So it was all coming together.
Okay. And now you've done this and you've created a business. Are you addicted? Are you thinking about the next one? Have you thought about other things outside of healthcare? Is your brain filled with ideas of things that, I want to go and do that?
To be frank, no. I think healthcare is a passion. And I think it's very important to be working in something which you know about. I think that's one of the pitfalls where maybe entrepreneurs fall into, is to try and get into something which they have no clue about. Healthcare was something which I knew about, we knew about, so we went into that. We have been offered things like pharmaceuticals and other things, but healthcare, which would help people also.
And if you had friends coming to you and saying, Tariq, I'd like to start my own business, but I'm not sure, I'm thinking about it, what advice would you give them?
Same, that start a business which you know something about. Do not enter into a business which you have no clue about. At least study about it and then get into it, really. For us it was maybe easy because health and education are two areas which are always, plus, generally speaking. But if you're starting a business, you must really know what you're getting into and start slow. Don't suddenly start too big because that's where you're going to might end up in trouble.
So if your friends start the business, what do you tell them to focus on? What did you tell them is vital to the business at the beginning?
It's a very old saying, don't spread your legs longer or bigger than the blanket you have. Stay in your finances. I think that's very important. You can take loans, definitely. That's part of the business. That's, I think, a very important part of the business to have a certain money coming from the banks or other institutions. But you must look at the repayments beforehand, before you take it. That, okay, I'm taking such and such amount, but can I be able to repay looking at my growth rate? And always take a very conservative growth rate. One is always wanting to say that, I'm going to have a 1,000% rate, but you should look at maybe 100%. So if you do better than that, great. That's my view.
Tariq, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's an excellent story.
Thank you.
Really, I'm impressed. Thank you.
Thank you.